Israeli security forces are maintaining a heavy presence in the West Bank city of Hebron after Israeli forces evicted hardline Jewish settlers from a building in the city. Security has also been tightened around Jerusalem's Old City as Muslims arrived for Friday prayers. Wu Peng has more.
Israeli police said on Friday they had placed 500 officers in and around Hebron and taken up positions elsewhere in the West Bank. The moves followed Israel's eviction on Thursday of dozens of extremist Jewish settlers from a Hebron house claimed by both Jews and Palestinians. The settlers say they lawfully purchased the building from Palestinians, but the Hebron resident denies having sold it to the settlers. The settlers had holed up in the 4-story house in defiance of a Supreme Court order to get out while ownership is determined. The eviction set off rampages by settler youths who attacked Israeli policemen and Palestinians and set fire to Palestinian homes. In the settlement of Kiryat Arba in Hebron, Jewish settlers promise more of the same.
This is not the end of the story. This is a continuation of the beginning, of continuing to build in Judea and Samaria, Hebron, Kiryat Arba Hebron, and to continue to live here without disturbances, not from our so-called legal government and not from the Palestinians.
The biblical city of Hebron is holy to both Muslims and Jews, and it's one of the most volatile flashpoints between Israelis and Palestinians. In Jerusalem on Friday, Israeli police also increased security around the Old City, where thousands of Muslims attend Friday prayers in the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Wu Peng, CCTV.
5 Blackwater worldwide security guards have been indicted for a deadly Baghdad shooting in 2007. They are all decorated U.S. military veterans who have served in some of the world's most dangerous hotspots. The men are charged following the deadly shooting of 17 Iraqi civilians at a busy Baghdad intersection on September the 16th last year. Documents in the case remain sealed but are expected to become public on Monday when the men have been ordered to surrender to the FBI. Prosecutors are expected to describe the 5 as trigger-happy security guards who opened fire unprovoked. A 6th suspect was in negotiations to plead guilty to lesser charges in exchange for his cooperation against his former colleagues. Many Zimbabwean refugees are crossing into the neighboring South Africa to escape a deadly cholera outbreak. But instead of safety, what they are finding is illness and disease. Zhang Rui has more.
An increasing number of Zimbabwean refugees are crossing into South Africa, hoping to find asylum there. But a coordinator with the South African Red Cross says the water and the living conditions at the Musina showgrounds are not clean and that people are falling ill as a result. Meanwhile, South African officials say the country is deploying more health workers at the border and sending clean water and other aid into Zimbabwe. They have also dispatched a fact-finding team to Zimbabwe. After the team returns and makes its report, the country will announce other humanitarian steps next week. A representative with the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies says the call for international assistance fully reflects the seriousness of the situation.
The risk is there, and we have actually seen already the border areas towards South Africa, where actions has been taken to curb the outbreak that is affecting those parts of the country.
But analysts fear the worst is yet to come as the rainy season is about to set in. Zimbabwe's cholera outbreak is blamed on years of neglect of its water treatment plants and the sewage pipes. Although cholera is easily prevented and cured, the country currently lacks adequate medical and water treatment systems to deal with the outbreak. Zhang Rui, CCTV.
Welcome back. China has promised to train 15,000 African personnel in the next 3 years to strengthen the cooperation in human resources development between China and Africa. Song Wei has more.
This is a classroom to train for Ethiopia telecommunication engineers. The teachers and equipment worth more than $10 million are all from a Chinese telecom company.
Teaching people how to fish is better than giving them fish. We're helping them to train tele-personnel as well as building a communication net.
Only 2% of its population used to have access to telecommunication services. But in recent years, China's assistance in building infrastructure has improved that percentage to 15%. The Chinese company is currently training more engineers to ensure it can maintain and develop the facilities. About 1,500 personnel should be trained by next year. In Madagascar, China's agricultural experts have brought new rice seeds, which would end the island country's dependence on rice imports. The new rice seeds, developed by Chinese scientists, are prolific, able to double the productivity of the local rice.
Some townships nearby came to us with the help of the Agriculture Ministry asking for the rice seeds.
China has set up an African Human Resources Development Fund as a follow-up action of the first conference in 2002 for African personnel training. Many African countries have initiated cooperation plans and provided logistics support for the training projects. Song Wei, CCTV.
And finally, visitors to London's British Museum will be treated to the sights and sounds of an authentic Indian summer next year. A season of indoor and outdoor events celebrating the vibrancy of Indian culture and its contribution to the UK will include an exotic garden, live performances and an exhibition of paintings never before seen in Europe.
The grand forecourt of the British Museum will be transformed next summer into an Indian landscape. Inside the museum will be the first in Europe to showcase an extraordinary array of 18th and early 19th century royal paintings from Jodhpur in Rajasthan. Gardens in the Cosmos is a collection of 55 paintings that will present vibrant illustrations of palace life and the great Indian epics, as well as artists' interpretations of origins of the universe. The paintings will make up an important part of the cultural exchange and will show alongside an action-packed public program, making it a fully interactive experience. Activities will include public debates, talks by Indian academics and artists, music and dance performances, and food tasting.
We're hoping that the public programme will complement and augment the exhibition and landscape. The exhibition, of course, is about late 18th century and early 19th century painting from Rajasthan. And we want to use the public programme to talk about the vibrancy of modern India and the issues and topics that concern us in Britain today.
Many of the flowers in British gardens originated from India. A tribute to India's rich biodiversity will take place in the museum's forecourt. Camellias, a banyan tree, and a pool of lotus flowers are just some of the attractions.
We're going to be presenting to our international audience out in our front courtyard a transect, if you like, from the Himalayas right the way through to the tropical zone, giving some indication of the huge range of Indian plant life and its connection to Indian culture in the very broadest sense.
In the last census, India was the largest ethnic minority in the UK. There is a long historical and cultural connection between the two countries.
Time now for a look at the weather forecast. Here is Dara Snow. Well, that's all for this edition of Worldwide Watch. I'm Mel Ho. Thanks for being with us.